can jump in if you want.
I know. I like you just going. I just don't want to. I think it's cool that it's just like a day in the life. And I'm just cooking dinner.
Totally. All right, so it is Sunday, April 10th, 2022, and this is a farm update and life check-in video journal. And yeah, I feel in this moment pretty... there's a level of exhaustion and a bit of overwhelm, and my nervous system feels a little bit out of whack, and my body feels tired and sore, and I am feeling the invitation in my body and in my being to find deeper alignment, deeper harmony, and more balance with my approach to life. There's been a lot of energy outpouring, a lot of creative energy, and I'm super excited about that and super stoked about what's unfolding here on the farm, and have liberated a lot of energy this year. And now it's just learning how to direct that in good ways and to continue to nourish myself and not just sort of explode creatively and energetically, then to just collapse. And so I'm feeling some early warnings and invitations to find deeper attunement and harmony. There's been a tremendous amount of work going into the farm at this moment to get our systems in place to be able to support our growing season in a good way. And spring came fast upon us, and the greenhouse wasn't in the conditions to support us, with half of it being torn down through the winter, and it was needing repair. And so we actually decided to extend it, getting a greenhouse donated to us from our friend Gregory, and adding that greenhouse to the current existing hoop house. And this should really improve our greenhouse structure, our greenhouse system, expand the amount of growing capacity we have in there during the shoulder seasons, and even our summer crops like tomatoes and cucumbers that are really supported by the greenhouses here in hoop houses. And so I feel good about the addition, even though it's taken quite a bit of energy and focus and intensity to get it up and get it going so that we can start our seeds as the season is moving along quickly. And yeah, the last few days I've been working with our manure and our compost system, and so I feel like a I don't know I smell like manure constantly. And so I think that's been affecting my mood a bit, and my body is just like, wow, this is intense, but it's good. It's like I've been reminding myself and telling myself, this is the smell of fertility. This is the smell of the gardens flourishing in the mid-season, and I'm really happy to be loading the truck up with goat manure and dropping it off and creating piles around the farm of horse manure and meeting good people that want to support the farm. It feels really nourishing. Today is such a beautiful process, just reaching out to somebody who had manure, George needing to get it off his hands. And of course we love manure, and he treats his horses amazingly and super organic, pastured and fed organic alfalfa and treated really, really well. And so we're like, okay, we're going to go get that manure, and went there and just had such a beautiful encounter. A really amazing, beautiful property. George was an amazing guy, and his father-in-law, John, is like this amazing artist that just like travels around the world and does impressionist art, and is like pretty world famous for his artwork, and really beautiful spiritual soul who really delights in the aesthetics of the world. And it was cool to just have those conversations and to like see and to feel into how he sees the world, and the way he tries to share that with others through his art. It was really inspiring, and it felt like inviting of deeper levels of participation and self-development, and how do I want to creatively express in that way and share my unique way of seeing the world. And this deeper invitation to claim myself more fully and to really move towards the life that I deeply desire, and to believe that the gifts that I've cultivated are of value to others, and to feel worthy of receiving financial capital and capital of all kinds for the gifts that I am bringing to the world. And so it was cool to encounter him and just to see the lifestyle he's created for himself and offering his gifts to the world in that way. And then there's this like deeper question of like, wow, like pouring so much energy and time into this place and really getting a lot of value and like really feeling deeply nourished and supported, and yet at the same time, like, this isn't our land, and it's like we have this rental exchange, and it's like, how much do I really want to pour my energy into improving the infrastructure of this place if I don't feel deeply like committed to it long term in my life? And that just being an interesting dance that has been unfolding for the last few years here, and continually finding this deeper truth of like, how do I just want to live in each moment, right? And how do I want to contribute to life and support my own experience and improve the conditions around me, to support the culture around me, to support the more than human world around me, and to help my own life flourish, and like to always live from that place, right? And not that I'm like giving too much to somebody else, but if I'm like really enjoying growing flowers all over the farm, then it's like, I'm not doing that for anybody else. I'm doing that for my experience in the moment. And it's so beautiful that whatever's left behind, the little touches that we leave behind throughout our lives, like how that impacts the next people who encounter that, and knowing that all of it isn't permanent as well. Like everything that I've built here will disintegrate and fall away at some point in time. And so really feeling invited to connect to more of that authentic truth in each moment. And like, why am I doing this, right? Why am I showing up to the market garden? Why am I wanting to grow all this produce? Why am I building our home in this way when it's not even our home, right? We're building it for somebody else and renting it, right? But we've built everything a part of it, right? So it feels so much like home. And it is home. It's home while we're here, and it will be home to another person, and then it might not be in the future. Who knows what the life of this place will be? And just feeling grateful to have had the opportunity to shape it in this way that can support us now. And that's where I need to find balance. It's like, am I doing this for something to be seen in a certain way, or am I doing this because I feel like I have to, or am I doing this because actually this just improves my life? And then in that process, step more deeply into the present moment, right? Like to create beauty to be appreciated, and don't forget to appreciate the beauty that's being created in each moment, right? Both of those things need to dance hand in hand. The receptive experience, the maximization of the awareness of the experience one is having, and the appreciation for the experience, and the creative, energetic output to improve, to grow, to develop, to express oneself, right? For the sake of experiencing oneself more deeply. And without the reciprocal relationship between those two, like, imbalance can occur, and feel that imbalance, and have felt that imbalance in many different times and in different moments. And that isn't dependent on someone else outside of myself. That's dependent on how I am perceiving life, right? And so instead of being victimized by not being landowners, and it's like, how can this deeply serve me in this moment and be a part of this pathway of unfolding, of learning how to deeply participate with life, right? And to create and to say yes to every moment as fully as possible. And that if that path takes me, which it's like I'm setting out into my trajectory and into my field of vision, the possibility of acquiring land in the future to build a legacy of connection and to be able to call in people and to have more agency and capacity to work with the land in the ways that feel right and that feel good, and that come from a deeply, truly authentic place. To further propagate our seed's vision, which is really at the core of everything that's driving this process, and that seed's vision again is just continually ever deepening into the moment, and in that moment finding ever greater capacities to participate with the evolutionary unfolding of the now, right, through surrendering completely to life and consciousness and that which we are, right, and serving life and consciousness for its continuity, for its continuation into the future. And feeling like creating educational centers and hubs all over. Like, we need small farms, small educational centers of all kinds, cultural hubs of regeneration all over the world, right, that are remembering, relearning, teaching, discovering how it is that we can participate with this moment with life and heal the harms that have been done and support each other in moving towards new ways of being, new ways of expressing, new ways of actualizing ourselves as a human species in service to life, in service to the continued development of consciousness and our capacity to participate over time. And so, and feeling like we are, to a large extent, doing that here, right? We're practicing that here, and want to continue to practice that. So playing with this tension of like not totally ideal and yet perfect as it is, and finding the grace and spaciousness to be accepting of the moment while holding desires for further actualization present, and letting that guide us, letting that move us, without getting lost in thinking that the future is the solution to the pain or discomfort that we might be feeling in the present. I think that's a pretty comprehensive check-in for where I'm at in this moment, and feeling excited for the continual unfolding of this year, and feeling excited to witness my own process in that, and the pitfalls and shortcomings, as well as like the successes of like, wow, this is growthful. This is really beautiful to see myself acting in these ways that I've intended for a long time, and yet to see myself also acting in the ways that I've been intending to move beyond, right, and having grace in the process feels like part of my intention for the year ahead. So, thanks.